I'm gonna take this sip.
Feel what shit.
Okay. So, how are you feeling?
You can tell me that my thirst is fake. Yeah, make it do it. Blow a steam like they radiated.
Alright, we're gonna get into it. So, hey guys, thank you all for coming on to my show, Speak Out with Miss Hurdle.
Hey, y'all.
This is my beautiful guest, Kenya Ellis.
Like, y'all as beautiful as you.
You are.
She's a doll, y'all.
Thank you. But we're here for you, so all the attention is gonna be on you today.
Great.
So you guys go ahead and say hi to my guest, okay? And share this live so everybody can see how awesome she is during the show. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
I just met this young lady. It haven't even been a whole week yet.
Y'all look at the 20 minutes.
It
What?
has
3
been 20
days?
Probably so, yeah. And I just got her on her show. She immediately accepted the same day I asked her to be on my show. She has great energy, and that's the reason why I did invite her on. I want you guys to witness what I did witness.
You're so sweet.
I tried to be
You're gonna be like, oh gosh.
I hope my boyfriend said the same thing. Yeah, like I'm like, lady, you get it together. Okay.
Okay, we all get that.
Yes. Okay.
Good.
So, first question for you.
Mhm.
Are you happy today?
Actually, it's kind of a bittersweet day because it's not to really kind of rain on the parade, but today is my brother's birthday. He passed away in 2020. So it's kind of like a good day because I'm here and I'm well and I'm manifesting greatness. However, it is kind of bittersweet,
Really?
But yeah.
That is crazy. You just told me, when I first met you, that your brother passed away, and then you're here on his birthday, and I know how hard that could be. I'm not saying I know how hard it could be because I never went through that situation before, but I know it's not hard. I mean, not easy
Not
at all.
easy at all. At all. But
Thank you for coming.
no
See, that's how beautiful she is,
No
y'all.
problem.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
You here for a reason, okay?
Absolutely.
Your brother, you know what, sis? You got to get out there.
Right.
Show them who you is.
No, seriously.
Yes.
And that's just his attitude, though. He had that very outgoing, I'm going to get it done. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just be that. And y'all going to see me and hear me. So, I'm definitely tapping into his energy today as well.
It's super nice. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Yes. Thank you, brother, for that.
Yeah, I know, right?
So, my question to you is, can you go ahead and introduce yourself to my guests so they can know the beautiful Kenya just like I do?
Thank you. Hi, everybody. So, I'm Kenya, like the country in Africa. That's like my little line. Well, no,
I have a niece named Kenya.
You do?
Yes.
I love that name. I just love it. Yes. It sounds so exciting. I'm so, I feel like I'm touching back to my roots.
And I'm telling you, it's a nice name. Like when I heard the name, I'm like, oh, Kenya. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? 'Cause people don't name their kids stuff like that nowadays.
Not at all.
Yes.
We ain't gonna say the names they name because we don't want to offend nobody. All names are beautiful.
Yes.
All names are beautiful.
Yes, and they do say people act the way they their name and stuff like that.
No,
they
that
act exactly that.
That is
so.
true. I can believe that for sure.
Yes. So that's probably the reason why you are as beautiful as you are, because of the name your mom gave you.
Yeah, shout out to her, Keisha. You're amazing. But I just recently moved down this way almost 2 years ago. So I'm originally from Chicago.
Chicago in the house.
Okay, South side's the best side. Don't y'all ever forget it.
All right. I've been there a couple times. I was in and out. I wasn't there that long. You can't stay there that long. You gotta get in and out.
Well, I'm about to welcome.
It's nice. It's nice.
Gotta get out the way. It is. Contrary to all the,
Yes.
bad publicity that it gets, it is a very beautiful city.
It is, most definitely.
For sure. But you're right, get in and out.
I wasn't there that long. I was there for a couple days.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
was fun though. It was really fun when I did visit.
It is a great time.
I went to McDonald's for sure.
food,
And
what?
Popeyes. I don't think I went to Popeyes at
McDonald's?
yes, and I went to Popeyes like 2:00 in the morning.
You in Chicago went to McDonald's?
Yes, I was hungry.
Out of all the places you could have went?
Yes, I was.
Oh my,
hungry.
okay. Who you going with? I'm going to get them.
Ooh, you know, I can't say that out loud. Who I went with. Well, I didn't go, y'all. I went. went to Popeyes too. I think at like 2, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, how do you go to Popeyes that late? Like, we're here, you know, it closes at 10 o'clock. But you can get chicken in Chicago at 2 o'clock in the morning.
You can get chicken, you can get pizza, you can get. Look, I'm supposed to be on a diet. But you can eat good. Okay, no that. Like, ain't no sleep now. That insurance.
Okay. So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
From Chicago, I am a mother of three beautiful children, Kimora, Aaron, and Kinsley. I am currently in a relationship, divorced about almost not quite 2 years. So the relationship is fairly new, but it's good. And yeah, I work. I try to run. I am running multiple businesses. Let me take the try out of my vocabulary. And just working on being a better me, a better woman, and just really trying to get a hold of Kenya in the essence and grow and love her as she becomes what she is supposed to become. So
okay, and I see you doing it all. I was like on your page at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, she is so beautiful. Like, she is awesome. Your energy, your aura, and how you come off is really good.
Contrary, I'm just gonna come out crazy, but I'm still trying to get used to compliments. I'll kid you not. And the crazy thing about it is most people, they probably look at me and probably either, depending on how I'm dressed or what I'm talking about. Y'all excuse the way I look too. I just came from work.
She did just come from work, okay? But, and she did still come, so I appreciate you.
Yes.
Most people, they would have been like, you know what, it's not to call it a night, but you still came. And thank you.
No problem. But compliments kind of make me feel uncomfortable. Crazy, right?
No.
Yes. I don't know. Because I always try to remain humble, and I always want to keep that humble mentality, and I feel like I never want to get big-headed or ahead of myself. Not saying that I don't feel like I'm awesome, because I feel like I am awesome, and I feel like that's something I think everybody should incorporate in their daily mantra every morning. Like, I'm awesome, I'm great, important to themselves. However, I just think that, I don't know why I always try to be so subconscious about just not being boastful and not, so sometimes when I get compliments, it kind of like, of course I accept them because I'm gracious for everybody who shows me any type of appreciation. However, I'm always kind of like awkward inside. Like, you think you okay? What am I next? And I think it's maybe because I hear it a lot, and so I just think I just don't want, and also I don't want to make others feel uncomfortable, especially if you're in a room and people are always like, can you? And I'm just like, okay, that's great.
You gotta plan on that because I could see that happening. Yeah. I know you said that it's kind of uncomfortable, but now that you say it like that, I can see where you're coming from. Yeah. Because you don't want to be like, like you said, be the only one getting compliments, and then you got people over in the corner like.
Right, exactly.
So that makes sense, yes.
Yeah, so, I just don't ever want to come off like that.
That's good.
For one, women, I think, have a tendency of already being slightly competitive, and I want them to be more receptive to me than either intimidated or, thinking something negative. Like, I just want to be that so transparent where I feel like they just like, okay, cool, she's down to earth. You know what I'm saying? She's not trying to overdo it or, I don't know. That's the type of energy I was just trying to come with,
Yeah. Well, I get what you're saying. Me personally, I work in retail, so I know how it is to get compliments and everybody just watching, like.
Right.
So, yeah. And now that you said that, it gets me to thinking, like, maybe I need to change some things myself. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to worry about people, too, not just yourself, but people around you, and make them feel comfortable as well. So,
that part.
Yeah.
That part, yes, for sure. So, when people give me compliments, I always try to shoot one back. Just, for one, because I feel like that it's always genuine, but, people are wanting to, just like people pour out and want to give good energy to you, I feel like it's my responsibility to pour out and give good energy back. So,
most definitely.
You look good too. You're beautiful. Like, I always, it's just a habit of mine. I don't know. So.
I get what you're saying 100%. Okay, so you already know you did grow up in Chicago. How would you describe your family?
We crazy, y'all.
Oh, yeah. Y'all got a little crazy side.
Right. My family is, I'm the oldest of 4. Myself, my sister Kamari, my sister under her Kayla, and then our brother Kyle. So he was the only boy. You know, as the oldest, you kind of get that mother mentality. You know, just kind of like want to be the mom, and even though you're not the mom. So, but for the most part, me and my siblings are tight for sure, and our mom, she was a single mother, so she did the best that she could, you know, but other than that, I'm not going to say it was a walk in the park, it was sunshine and rainbows, you know, we had great days, and we had, you know, the struggle days.
Most definitely.
But I think that builds character, so, you know, you got to look at to me, I feel like there's always something positive to find in a situation. I don't care how dark it may seem or how difficult it may seem. I feel like that if you really take the focus off of what is going wrong, you will eventually see what is actually going right. So it took me a long time to get there though, because you know, when you grow up and things are not the way you want it to be, or you feel like it should have been, you do kind of get upset, or sometimes hold a little bitterness, or you know, a little anger and resentfulness, and just want to wish things coulda, woulda, shoulda, you know. But that's not my story, and I'm okay with that now. You know.
And as you grow older, you always like, you know, gotta look at the situation and stuff, like you said. And then our parents and stuff, not saying that they didn't want to have us, but sometimes people nowadays, you know, we having kids and we really haven't even found ourselves yet.
That's true.
So we have to give our parents you know,
a break. Yes, you know, give them a break for sure. For sure.
And let them know, like, you
they
know,
were
I love
learning.
you.
They were learning as they were trying to, you know, raise us. You know, so yeah, that's a good topic. That's for sure.
Yes, I mean, because I heard it all the time. Like, I know my cousin, she would always say, she'd be like, I don't think our parents really wanted to have us, because I always call my mama, I don't call her mama, I call her by her actual real name.
Your mom? You call your mom?
Yes, I don't say mom like everybody else. And she don't either. She called her mom by her government name.
Oh my God.
So we always laugh and we joke about it, because she's like, I don't think they wanted to have kids, because I don't think they cared, because they didn't ever say nothing.
Right.
So, and to this day, I still call her that, you know, by her government. It's not her government name, but I call her by her nickname, and she don't say nothing.
Right. Wow.
And she be like, I don't think that's why I feel like they didn't want to have kids, and that's why they don't care. So, and we always joke about it.
Like, they never want us anymore.
Yes, so and she be like, I think that's just the way them, you know, still feeling like, you know, they still got a young and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
So, and we always be joking about, like, dang, I think you're right.
Right.
But yes, but you know, our parents, they always still, you know, want the best for us, even though, like we said, it wasn't peaches and cream, and it is what it is. Steve Harvey, I heard him the other day. He said a quote. He said, "You gotta have dirt in your name,
for real.
you know, in order to grow."
No,
so,
seriously.
Yeah,
seriously. I don't think people, and then those tears watered, you know. So it all. I don't know. I feel like, of course, everybody wish they had that perfect life, that life where they was born into something fantastic, and just, you know, you're just fantastic. Unfortunately, no, matter of fact, fortunately, it wasn't like that, because I feel like that, I don't know, you miss some of the best times, you know, and some of the biggest pressures that actually, you know what I'm saying, create the diamonds. Like, I feel like, so, of course, it'll be easy to just say, oh, I wish I had this, and I wish I was, you know, born into that, but to actually say I didn't, but I still was able to, like, you know, beat the odds. I was still able to push through and be resilient, you know, and not only that, to carry my generation and the generation, you know, and then not only that, the women, you know what I'm saying, that you impact as well, you know, like, or even men, you know, because I want to be biased for the men out there.
like,
you know, right? You know, because for sure, I feel like a man can learn from a woman, and a woman can most certainly learn from a man. So that's.
And Louis Farrakhan said himself, you, especially with men, they said, well, he says you cannot go through life without a woman. You have to get you a woman. A wife.
That is
yes, a man needs a wife.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
True.
They said it.
I believe that.
And Louis Farrakhan himself said that. So I believe that.
Right. we believe that.
Yes.
That's what that is.
And yes, the honorable, you know, if he said that,
right, then
you know, we're gonna go with that.
Right.
Okay? So, have your parents ever impacted the view of your love, of your relationship, like the love in your relationship? Have they ever had any things to say about your relationship as far as how you love?
My mother, I'm not gonna say okay, I was the one.
In this show, you can say anything, and mom, you're gonna have to deal with it, mom.
I was probably the one that I feel like out of all, between my mom and even my sisters, I was probably the most hopeless romantic of the bunch. And what I mean by that is I settled down early. I got with my ex-husband at the age of 13. We were high school, or grammar school sweethearts going into high school. And we were together for 20 years and married for 11. So I'd probably say out of everybody in there, like, I was probably the most, like, for the whole marriage thing and wanting to, have that type of quote unquote fairy tale life. But my mom, I can say she, I can't, because she showed mad love. Like, I can honestly say that she really genuinely showed all of us growing up a lot of love. Things she would do with us, a lot of parents weren't doing with their kids. I can definitely say that. Even if we didn't have money to really go and do, like, she would make the best out of it, like, in the home, But, so she definitely loved and showed love. I know a lot of people have that story where they kind of don't have a relate as far as, like, their mom not being motherly in the home. You know what I'm saying? I can say I didn't experience, like, she cooked for us and stuff like that. Like, so I can say, like, she was there for us and showed us love.
But she won't actually, like you said, can say maybe present, like, having those conversations with you maybe?
No, she definitely, I think because I started dating so young, I kind of already had in my head what I thought love was. And it was something she could tell me, my grandmother could tell me, and nobody else could tell me about me being in love with that man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just kind of what it was. She tried to tell me, and a lot of other people tried to tell me, you too young. I think especially 13, you're definitely too young to understand what love is. You don't even know who you are. You don't even know what your type is.
Like, how can they tell you that? Because love, we at a young age we understand love, because we tell our kids all the time we love them.
That's true.
So how we don't understand what love is? You know what I'm saying?
Because I think, especially for me, I didn't grow up with the father. Like, he was around sometimes, but he wasn't around often. And then as the older I got, the more distant the relationship became. However, I really believe that first and foremost that girls need a role model, a father figure for sure. And I think had he shown me certain things, I would have expected, or I would have had an expectation of certain things, versus, just allowing, certain behaviors to happen in my previous relationship. So, I can say my father's absence definitely taught me, it taught me, how can I put this? So I want to try to make it to make sense. It taught me to accept things that I didn't, or I shouldn't have accepted.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah.
As far as like a relationship, how a guy should treat you, or what a guy should bring to the table before, lay down with them, all that other stuff. That. The role that fathers normally play in little girls' lives.
Right. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
I most definitely understand that, because my dad wasn't in my life either, so I can most definitely feel you on that. So thank you for sharing that.
Oh, no problem.
I know it seemed like it was really hard for you to share that.
It is very difficult, just because my dad. This is like, I don't want to keep talking about death on this show, Jesus. But my father had went to prison. He was in prison for a nice little minute, and then he had promised me that when he got out, he was going to come stay wherever I was. At that time, I had 2 of his grandchildren at the time, and he was going to make up for lost time and everything like that, and I was super excited. Then he got released from jail, and then I really didn't hear from him, and I'm like, okay, he's supposed to contact me when he got out. And then, like, almost not quite a year passed, and then happened to see him on Facebook, and he was friends with, like, other people, but not friends with me. So I kind of got offended. I'm like, whoa, like, me and you were writing each other while you was in jail, prison dad, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I just had that type of love. And my grandma called it agape love, where it's like, it's unwavering.
Right.
It doesn't fade away no matter how somebody treats you, no matter what they do, no matter, it's just like a steady love. And I really can say that has been probably some of my biggest downfalls, but at the same time, I appreciate having that heart because you don't find too many people out here with that type of love, you know. So I took it to heart. You know, we writing each other. You promising me you gonna come be with me.
Maybe he was embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Because he was in jail. You know, how did he supposed to explain to you, you know, his daughter, you know, how to live this life, you know, like, you know, his princess life, you know, what guys expect their, you know, daughters to grow up as, you know, with him being in jail. Maybe he was embarrassed. That's probably why he didn't reach out.
I think, I don't, you know, because he had other issues going on with himself. But me, I have a tendency of taking a lot of stuff personal sometimes. And that's another bad habit.
Yes.
Because I can't control people. And so when things I see are going a certain way, I get offended easily. And I'm working on that, y'all. However, he ended up finally adding me, and then he sent me a message, and he was like, hey, you know, call me. And I was so upset. I'm like, you've been out of jail for a minute. You were supposed to, the plan was you were supposed to come with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, come live with us for a little while, you know, and all of this. And so I didn't, I opened it and I left him on red. He gave me his number. He told me to call him. I left him on red. And I said, I'm going to just call him whenever I feel like it because he added me whenever he felt like it.
Yes.
And then literally like, not even a week after that, like a couple days after that, I got a phone call saying he died. He had committed suicide. So, yep. So my biggest, I think what he taught me in love is that tomorrow is not promised. And the smallest little incident of you probably feeling like, you know, you sticking it to somebody, because my whole thing was I was a little salty that he hadn't reached out. He had been, you know, but the whole time, like, I don't even know his own personal battles and what he was going through. So I was being selfish in that moment with my feelings and not, you know, just giving him a call. Who knows what he would have wanted. So a lot of my regret is that maybe if I would have picked up the phone and called him, that he probably wouldn't have done what he had did. So I do hold a lot of responsibility in my heart for that, I think, because and so a lot of, that's why people are always saying, like, you're so forgiving. People sometimes just walk all over you. You give people multiple chances. And that's only because the time that I didn't give somebody a chance, you know,
it went sour.
It
went,
right.
It was a good outcome.
So,
and like you said, you really never know what nobody's going through. So you don't want to run take your emotions and then go with the situation like, oh, they bogus, you know.
Right, because you just never know. So it really just taught me to just look beyond. Like, if somebody do something to tick me off, I'll overlook it and I'll just try to see what the real scenario is. Like, and sometimes it can cause people to take advantage of that, though, because they'll see, like, you forgive it and you'll forgive again and again, you know, and so then they'll take that and they'll roll with it. So right now I'm trying to really get that balance where it's kind of like I'm not so selfish when I'm like, you know what, no, I'm not going to hear from you, but at the same time, I'm not a doormat, you know what I'm saying, where people could just walk all over me. I'm trying to really just get that balance to where it's kind of like, okay, look, I want to hear you out, but again, you're not going to play me like a fool. You're not going to do it.
Yes, and we have to do that sometimes. It might be hard, but after you do it, it's not that hard to do.
It's not. I'm still learning, though. I'm still learning. Oh, my word. I'm learning about that so bad, real bad. Like,
we're going to get to that in just a few minutes here. So my question for you is, well, before we got into our topic, how do you have your first, are you dating, single, or taking?
I am taking.
She's taking, y'all. So don't go and be in her inbox, you know, trying to go ahead and get y'all to the date.
It will not get over.
You cannot.
Just out of respect for him, it will not get over at all. I'm not even, nope. Not even a little bit. Do you plan? Are you married? No. Do you plan on getting married? Would I be married? I would be married. Absolutely.
Okay. So why don't you want to be married? Well, how long have you been in a relationship?
It's been a little over a year.
Okay. So a year. And they say that guys tend to know who they're going to marry right off the bat. It gives them like maybe a 6 months to almost a year to know if they're going to marry you or not. So why don't you feel, I mean, what's your reason behind, you know, not being married right now? Why don't you feel like, has your boyfriend ever asked you the question like, you want to marry me?
No. No.
I wasn't expecting this, y'all. I was wrenching her. She was not expecting this, y'all.
Look, No, we've talked about marriage and stuff like that. We've talked about it and stuff. But I just feel like that, well, for one, I'm just keeping it real. He a couple years younger than me, that's for one.
Okay.
For two, he doesn't have children, and I have children. And so it's just a lot of things I want to take into consideration. Not only that, marriage is a huge step. And I think when I did it the first time, it was kind of like I gave my ex an ultimatum. And it was just kind of like, look, I'm 2 kids in at this moment. We've been together since we were 13. At this point, we're 23. We've been living together since you were 16. What are we going to do? We're not going to keep shacking up. And so it was like an ultimatum. It wasn't really like oh my God, this is just going to be a romantic thing and he just loves me and, we're just going to run out. It was just kind of like, all right, now look, what are we going to do here?
Right.
And I hate that I even did that because I kind of pushed his back up against the wall to agree to something that I don't think he, for one, honestly was not ready. He wasn't ready for that. That's for one. For two, it kind of put me out there to be vulnerable to, okay, well, this is how she's looking. She's looking to be in it with me for the long haul. So it was kind of like, I think he kind of took advantage of that almost like in a sense like, okay, so she really in it with me, you know, so I can kind of do a little bit of whatever I want to because I see she,
like that.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of where that went. So as far as like, never give a man an ultimatum. Let me tell you that. Never give a man an ultimatum. And she's right. Most men kind of know already if you are somebody that they are willing to spend the rest of their life with. Yeah. And so knowing what I know now at my age, don't give them an ultimatum. Like, they know. If they want to play games, that's fine. They can go play games somewhere else. Not even saying that there's a time limit because I'm not pressuring my guy at the moment. Like, I'm not pressuring him like to do nothing fantastic as far as marriage. However, like I feel like this. If it's gonna be, it's gonna be, and if it's not, it is not. Yep. But either way, I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, of course, wants to hold on to the person that they love. But I feel like sometimes we get clingy and we want to hold on to it so tight we kill it. Let it relax and just let it be. Yeah. And that's where I'm at. So that's why I'm not really talking about the marriage stuff heavy like that because I just feel like we just gotta relax and let it be.
Yeah. And it's gonna go whenever.
And it's gonna go, whether whichever way. Like if we end up together and married, that is great.
But it's people out there like they don't even get married. You know what I'm saying? They still have stuff in place for like for their family wise, but they feel like they don't have to be married. To say oh yeah we just married. You know what I'm saying? Or then you got women out there, oh you need to marry him because oh, what if y'all divorced or stuff like that and you end up with nothing, You know what I'm saying? But if you know what type of person you're dealing with, you shouldn't have to worry about stuff like that.
Exactly. That first of all, let me just say, anybody who decides to get married or decides to stay single for the rest of their lives, that is your prerogative, and you can do so as you please. You don't let nobody rush you into marriage or babies, because at the end of the day, if it all goes left, you're going to be the only one left to pick up those pieces, like, for sure. So, I mean, all I can say about that is I think people should just do what they genuinely want to do, period. Like, if you want to, and also find something that balances, because there's no way that you, as a man, are looking for a wife, but you're looking at Hot Girl Boulevard. There's no way. She's not going to be there, like, maybe try her when she crossed over to the other side of the road, but while she over there on Hot Girl Central, that's not your wife, okay? Yep. And same for, these young ladies out here or whatever like that. Just because a guy just want to drop a bag and he pull up in something like this, something like that, and want to fly you out, that means he's husband material. Absolutely not. You got to look beyond that. What is that person's soul like? Seriously, like, I think when you start looking at people's soul, you will find out that you have less in common than you actually think. So, that's the advice I can give on that for sure. Make sure you're balanced with your partner. That way, if you don't want to get married, for a fact that your partner you're with doesn't want to get married. If you want kids and they want kids, y'all good. Like, so I just feel like just finding somebody who is equally yoked as you.
Yes, most definitely. See, thank you for that. I think somebody out there like, yeah. Because I know I am. But I know that's hard.
It is. And it's definitely easy. Look, I don't want y'all to think I'm just talking and like, oh, what? No, look, because I'm telling you, it is very difficult. It's not, if it was that easy, everybody be doing it. And everybody be matched up with their perfect significant other and just living happily ever after and doing what they want to do. Like, but It doesn't work like that. Sometimes we won't, and even if we can have all the red flags in the world, I mean, flare gun, and we're still gonna do, if that's what we want, we're gonna do what we want to do.
Yep. Okay. So I know you taken. So was it love at first sight? Like, yeah, come here.
Look, contrary to what I just got through preaching to y'all about making sure y'all on the same way, I honestly can tell you, if I knew we was on the same wavelength, I just knew, honestly, that he was just fine. I'm just gonna keep it real.
Like, look
Give it a box.
He was fine.
You know, and then when we talked, I really found out that his intellect surpassed his looks. And don't get me wrong, he's still fine, but the way he thinks is everything to me. And it really does. That's the biggest turn on, like his mental, for sure. For sure. So,
sorry to interrupt you, but and thank you, boyfriend, you know, for being fine and having that, you know, that smartness, like, not saying smartness, but like intellect, like you said, and being able to not just, you know, be physically good looks, but also be smart and be able to scold your woman and support her. That's true. Thank you for that.
He's the biggest supporter, yes, for sure. If you watch this, baby, I love you. You are so freaking awesome.
That is awesome. You know, because some women, they, you know, they in relationships and they can't, you know,
be themselves.
Yes.
Themselves.
So that's good. We're going to get into that too a little bit later, y'all. Yeah. But Michelle said, I love her and she is telling the truth.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, most definitely. So what is your love language?
My love language is for sure touch and just, I guess I would say confirmation. And I feel like that one thing about it though is I've learned to understand that my love language is not his love language, because it's just, it goes with a lot of things. For one, I'm male. I mean, he's male, I'm female. For two, our backgrounds. We don't know how he was raised, you know, whether it was based off love or survival versus me based off love or survival. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of things come into play when it comes to the love language, right, and understanding what your partner's is, and really learning the difference between them just not knowing how to tap into your love language and them just like ignoring you, because most people will just get mad, oh well, he just or she just don't want to do without, you know. But it's like, no, you have to understand that it's hard for some people who haven't been brought up like you or used to certain things like you. It's hard for them to tap into your love language. So one thing I am learning is that you have to first lead by example. Right. So what I do is I show him my love language on how he knows my love language by how I love on him. Right. I'm always touchy, I'm always feeling and stuff like that. I'm always I was telling him, like, you look so fine. You know, just saying little things like that. I like to confirm a lot of things so that he knows, like, I know he's important to me. And he knows how I feel about him consistently. Because one thing about it, and I know people are thinking, like, oh, well, that's a lot of hard work. Constantly having to tell somebody.
While you saying that, I'm like, oh, I don't do all that. So I literally, like, get what you're saying, because, man, they need that, too, just like
men
you do.
They definitely do. And I think that gets overlooked.
Wow.
It gets overlooked for sure. And I feel like that, not only that, you got to think about temptation. Temptation's out here, and we're all human, and we all, you know, can become involved in it at the end of the day. Like, none of us is higher than the other. We all are human. We all feel. You know what I'm saying? There's always, like you said, somebody's going to be smarter, or finer, thinner, thicker, you know, whatever like that. And so I feel like that it's insane to think that, you know, your person's not going to find to me, I feel like nobody else attractive. Like, people are beautiful. There are beautiful people out here. Like, and you crazy to say that there is not. You know, beautiful women, beautiful men. Like, come on now. So, but I feel like with that, with temptation always kind of like rearing its ugly head, you know, I feel like there is no way that some female on the street should ever be giving my man more compliments than me, period. I feel like there is no woman in his DM that should ever be able to say, hey, good looking, hey, fine, woo, more than me. Like, and that's just how I feel. Now, personally, if nobody want to do that for their significant other, that's fine. But for me, I just feel like that, you know, that's my man, and I'm gonna make my man. I'm gonna make him feel good, like make him feel appreciated. You know what I'm saying? So then if he do hit that, oh, you look good, it's nothing to him, because guess what? My baby tell me that all the time. I know I look good. You know what I'm saying? So, But you know, yeah.
I agree with you 100%. Like, I don't think like that. Okay, that's why I love to get people's point of view, especially stuff like that, because I know me, I struggle with showing, not say love, because I'm a lovable person, affection. But I struggle with showing affection, and that's I don't think like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I can sit there and I don't tell my boyfriend every day how how awesome he is and how he look. You know, like he looks good. And I tell him, when he dressing up, as he going out and stuff, oh, you look good. When he asks me, but on an everyday basis, for as wise when he leaving out the house, I don't say stuff like that.
I mean, I don't want you to like wreck your brain thinking like, oh, every time you look good.
It makes sense though, because they need it just like we do. Because he tell me that all the time, like, you look good. Like, even when I look a mess, and I'm like, that's not even, but I don't do that to him, and it makes you feel wonderful, confident, all that, knowing that, I know I look good, my girl. Right. So we should just take into consideration about as women being able to tell our significant other, even though. We feel like, they the man, they should be doing it. No, we also need to do
and that's another thing I want to just kind of knock out of. I'm sorry, look, I'm not a therapist, a psychologist, a doctor, or anything. So y'all just don't literally take my advice. If you like it, then use it. If not, that's okay. But for me, I feel like that's another thing we need to get away from, and that is with the whole women feeling entitled to certain things, but not feeling like that their men deserve that same entitlement. I feel like, and if you are with a dude that's kind of crafty or whatever, or a jerk, and you're like, well, I don't want to do all of that for him, then that's your answer right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, exactly.
Yeah, like you're not even willing to work on it. You just like,
Right. But for those who love their men and love their relationship and stuff like that, I feel like that we need to just really just do away with the whole like. Kind of sometimes, because we can be like that, like me, and it's all about me. For one, let's just be honest, like I love all people, all races, all religions, sexual preference, like that's just me. However, let's just take a second to talk about the black man for a minute. The most, I don't want to use hate because it's such a strong word, but they got a bullseye on their backs, period. And it takes a lot to be a black man. I can't even imagine, that's just all I want to say. So I feel like that at the end of the day, it doesn't hurt to show your man a little bit of extra TLC, to the love and care, because the odds are definitely against him once he walks out that door. He already has to deal with so many other things. So for sure, be that foundation and that rock for him, if you can. And but look, don't get me wrong now. Look, don't lay yourself thin and weigh yourself bare and just let him know. I'm not saying that. What I'm just saying is it for the good man. You know what I'm saying? Or for the man, like, man, I haven't told him I appreciated that lady or whatever. Go tell that man that right now. Go give him a hug and a kiss. He's gonna look at you like you crazy, like, oh, what I do? You do nothing, baby. I love you. You're beautiful. But even for all men, all races, I think men have a hard job, And
where were you 7 years ago when I first met my man? Okay, like, I'm just kidding.
Girl, I had a divorce.
Like, I need you 7 years ago. Okay, my marriage would have been great.
No, yes, but yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
No.
You talking about that subject is really good because we don't understand as a black man how hard it is out there for them. You know what I'm saying? We don't look at it like that. We're looking at it like, oh, it's go, you good.
Right.
And it's not easy at all for them.
They can't cry, or they consider weak. They can't show emotion. They consider weak. Like they can't take a break or take a rest or a mental day or it's just weak. Like it's like, geez, like
you gotta be good no matter what.
Exactly.
Like, oh, what you over there looking like that for? What's wrong with you?
Exactly.
You gotta be able to understand, like they have feelings just like we do. You know what I'm saying?
And then you always want to talk about how the man is a leader. And I want to lead. I want a man that's going to lead, is going to take control. It's true, but you know what it takes to be a leader?
Yeah.
We just like we're talking about for a man in general, for leaders, period, and whether it's professional or whether it's personal. To be a leader, it takes a lot. And there's a lot on you. So if you want this man to be a leader, then to me, I feel like you have to really show him love and support as a leader, because it takes a lot out of you, like, for real.
So I know you're saying, like, you know, it takes a lot to be a leader. So I'm always hearing people talking about being submissive. You know what I'm saying? So does that take part in, you know, actually giving that your spouse, you know, the be okay with being a leader? Like, you know, as far as why, you know, I'm gonna let you take the lead.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that the man should lead, but I do feel like that, because I'm very pro-woman. Let me just say that, okay? Yeah. For my women, but one thing I can say is that we, without us, like you said, like every man needs, and I believe that. I feel like that there are certain gifts that women can tap into that men cannot, just because how they are genetically made. So I feel like that. Of course, you want your man to, you know, guide you and lead you. However, I feel like that it takes a strong helpmate to help him maneuver through those rough terrains. Like, I feel like, you know, at the end of the day, like, you have to have a solid helper in your corner for sure, for any type of leader to be able to, you know, maneuver and get things done. So I feel like just as important as it is for a man to lead, it's important for a woman to help him lead, because a man cannot lead by himself. That's another thing. So for all y'all men out there, I'm a leader, yeah. But what's your help looking like? Because if you got a weak helpmate, you're gonna be carrying that load by yourself, and that's a tough load to carry, you know. So yeah, but that's all I feel on that.
Okay, that's it. That's all. And are you possessive? That's our next question.
Oh yeah.
Are you possessive?
I can be, but then again, I'm. Okay, what's mine is mine, for sure. But, like, I'm not one of them type of girls that nitpick with him. Like, I don't know. Like, if he said good looking woman, I'm just not all over him. Like, yeah, they don't bother me. I'm just so.
I mean, because at least he's acknowledging, like, the fact that, you know, other women look good. Like,
right. I don't want my man to be a robot.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be like a, you know, like he's never ever disrespected me and stuff like that. And that's the most important thing. But I just feel like I just don't want him to be like can't be himself around me. Like, you know, I feel like that the whole point of a relationship is to first be friends first, and then have that romantic thing after. So I feel like with that, you know, like, I'm your friend, so I want you to be like, you know, genuine around me. I want you to be, so I don't like all of that, you know, like when I'm around you act a certain way, then when I'm not around you act a certain way. No, like, well, you see that BBL, babe? You know, right. You know, I don't know, it's just me though. I've always been like that. Like, I'm
it's fun to be like that.
It
you know
is,
what I'm saying? Like,
women sometimes can ruin some stuff.
Yeah.
I want to nick it back. Like, look, let that man be, okay? I feel like as long as certain grounds haven't been crossed and the respect is there, you know for a fact that he loves you and he's for you, you know what? Well, you know. Get off that man back.
Yes. Don't be on him like that. Give him man space, okay?
Yeah,
let him go ahead and be a little birdie. I'm just kidding. Let him go ahead, you know, and let him enjoy himself. Let him be a man, and it's okay to do that, okay?
It is.
Yes.
It is.
So, how would you react if your boyfriend forgot your birthday? Would you be angry?
Oh, I'm like a sap, so I would be sad.
Like, really? You be sitting there, you know, you at work and stuff, and he didn't text you, happy birthday, right? Like, I'm like, damn, like, it's been a whole, you know, almost 24 hours.
I'll be upset.
Yes.
Like, it's sad. More sad though than angry. Like, I can't believe you. Don't love me. No, yeah. I'll be more sad than angry.
That ain't good. I think I would be too. Like, you know, it's my birthday. Like, you should be knowing.
Right.
Now, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's when we always think about our birthdays as, you know.
Special
days.
Yes. What about us?
So, is it important, we already know, because you already talked about how black men, we should make sure that they feel as far as love, make them feel like they're confident, stuff like that in their relationship. So, my next question is, do you think that a man should be able to make you feel like you're safe and protected?
Absolutely, for sure. I think that I don't know. I feel like that men, they kind of already kind of have that like whole protection thing, kind of, But I feel like that protection can come in different forms, and what I mean by that is not necessarily a physical protection. Of course, if somebody comes and try to attack you, you want your man to help, but more so of it's a feeling. You know what I'm saying? It's like knowing that that without a shadow of a doubt, this man has your back, no matter what. So safety sometimes isn't a physical aspect to me. It's more of a feeling, like where you just know, like, I'm good, like, like I'm good. And that's in everything, like when it comes to other women, when it comes to
life
situations and things like that, like I'm good, and even in days where like the waters may rise and there's kind of tension between y'all, you're really safe in a man's presence when y'all are on bad terms, but for a fact he'll still, you know what I'm saying? He's still gonna ride for you.
Yeah.
Even if things aren't, y'all cannot be on speaking terms.
Yeah.
And you can call him and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? And he dropped everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you know. Like, you just got a feeling. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I look for.
And I agree with you 100%. We should be able to, I think, in general, feel like, we need somebody to be that safe haven for us, because sometimes this world's hard on women. You know what I'm saying?
It's very hard on women.
Yeah.
Sure,
So I agree with you 100%.
I feel like women are, and let me just say this, I don't want women to feel like I'm forgetting about them, but we are the most underrated presence in this world. I feel like that we have to be a number of things and expected to function. How we function for so long. You're a mom. If you're a mom, you have to be a mom. If you're a girlfriend, then you still have to be, the girlfriend or the wife. You have to play that role. We do finances. We act as counselors. We act as doctors. We
Everything.
act as, for the working women working. And it's just like we have to wear so many hats.
Yeah.
And sometimes multiple hats at one time. And it can be very, very difficult as women, I feel like, because we carry burdens as well. Everybody can lay it off on us.
Ancient days, you know what I'm saying, before our generation. And before, back then, like, as far as wise, women, they had to be the everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, men came to us, for like, you said, like us having to be the doctor, having to just know, like, okay, if I go to her, I know she's going to take care of me, you know what I'm saying? So we always been that safe space for them. Yes. Like an angel, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, that is true, that is true. And so I feel like that it can be difficult sometimes, and it could leave you weary as a woman. But one thing I found is that outside of all those hats that we wear, I think the most important place to be is happy in your own skin. And what I mean by that is, being a mother is great. Being somebody's wife or girlfriend is great. All of that is great. Being a boss at the job or, all of that's great. But outside of all that, if you were to be stripped of everything, driving your nice car, owning a nice home, taking off them red bottoms and flinging them in the closet, your Louis bags or whatever, like outside of being stripped out of all of that, makeup, wigs, because I love it all. What is just really understanding what is the essence of you as a woman.
Loving yourself.
Yes.
Being yourself,
just like,
be able to live in your skin, don't care
what nobody said. Like, right. How do you view you? Just you. Not you as a mom, not you as this, not you as that, but just you. You know what I'm saying? And I think women definitely have to get back to that. Because I think that we lose ourselves so often than not, because
I understand you 100%. And that's why I'm always telling people, because I know I put my makeup on and I'm out in public, but there are some days I don't feel like putting my makeup on. I might not, feel like doing my hair, and I go out there and I still feel good. I still feel confident because I know it's somebody always watching me. I know my little cousins, they be like, "You gonna bring your hair like that outside?" And I'm like, "Show wheels." And I want somebody to look at me crazy. Right. I look good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. My hair all over my head. I don't care how I look right now, because at that present, I'm not worried about what nobody thinks. You know what I'm saying? I know I feel good internally. Exactly. So whatever they looking at me just for that moment, but they don't know me as a person. So whatever they feel like at that moment is fine, because I'm not gonna see them until I don't know that person, so I don't care. Yes, because if you see me out there with my hair all over my head, that's fine.
Right.
I don't worry about it.
Keep it walking, keep it pushing.
You know, I don't worry about it. I'm just wearing my hair everywhere. So if you see me out there, that's fine. But I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? And it took me a lot to get there. So I agree with you.
I still be trying to work on it because it's just a battle. You know what I'm saying? I'm constantly learning and constantly, and again, everything is so.
And we're going to work on it together.
You know.
So anybody, if y'all out there, if y'all feeling like you're not confident enough to go out there as your true self, you know, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? You can reach out to people like myself, people like Kenya. That's what she's here for, to show us how she gets through it. You know what I'm saying? Like being confident and just being her. You know what I'm saying? So if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. We can answer them for you, but it's okay to be yourself.
It definitely is.
So,
That's true.
do you make decisions for yourself, or do you like when you do make decisions? Do you take them over? Do you talk them over with your partner, or you just go for it?
Yeah, it sounded like I was lying.
Like,
I'm not lying, guys.
I talk them over with him, but
no, I do. I do talk them over with him. I really do. I try to. Sometimes because I am. I do have a dominant presence about myself, and sometimes I can like tap into my masculine energy, and so sometimes I'll do something, I'll think about like, dang, I should have, you know. But for the most part, I can really say, I think he will honestly say, like, I'll ask him, and then sometimes he'll be like, you asked me, but you still end up doing something else. But
you mean you know what it is?
Right.
I know I have to do this, but you know it's all good intentions.
Right,
but I'm good.
right,
you know what I'm saying? So
right. So, but for the most part, like I'll definitely always try to bring, especially when it comes to like finances and things like that, like. And even with the children, even though my children aren't his, you know, but even with that, like, I just try to make sure we're on one accord or the same page, at least in the same chapter, you know.
Yes, and it's okay because I mean he still accepts you for a woman. He still loves you, and I know you said that the kids are not his, but you know, man, when they love women, those kids, you know, they are his. You know, they've been with you for a good time now, almost it's been a year. Yeah. So apparently, you know, he loves no kids just like he loves you.
Yes,
so
yes.
those are his kids. So Dad, it's okay, Dad, to let it be okay. Let him take over. He's a stepdad, so you have to make sure that, you know, let him do his job.
And let him do his job.
Because even though the dad is not present, somebody else, like you said, have to be a father figure somewhere. So
he's around. Yeah. He's there. The dad. He's there. And,
that's not good. You're talking to the dad.
It ain't. Ooh, that's another segment, honey. We're going to need all day for that one.
That's fine. Let's go ahead, but like, you know, go ahead, put time aside, but you know.
Yeah, seriously. But no, he's there. You know, you know how that goes though. Like once things don't work out, sometimes you know.
They go on about their business. It's fine. It's good for them to go their way because you don't want no problems.
Peaceful.
So, is there something that I should have asked you but I didn't?
I don't know. You know, don't give me kids. I'm a talker, so just
I know it's 1,000,001 questions that I could have asked you today, but I know we got to keep it short and simple. I have 1,001 questions that I do want to ask you, but I know we don't have time.
Yes.
But I will be maybe getting with you, and we can do like short videos together. And
cool.
Yeah. So we can have some just have some videos for you guys to continue to get to know Kenya.
Yes. And all my hot messness.
But I'm sure y'all have it, and it's fine. And you know, we want somebody that we can relate to, or even learn something from. Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure that you can learn a lot from this young lady. So yes.
And I can learn a lot from y'all too. I go.
Yes.
And I can learn a lot from y'all too. For sure.
Okay. So would you like to ask me a few questions before we wrap it up? So is there anything that you would like to ask me before we call it quits? Let's see. I'm not used to this either. Like you're like the first person, like the first guest that I ever asked that question to. Yes.
So how's everything with your relationship?
So I'm gonna be honest, my boyfriend is watching this live. So I have to be careful about what I say. It's fine. Because he already know I'm always in a good place. But right now my relationship is, it's rocky right now. But we're working on it. You know what I'm saying? We're working on him. We're working on me. So hopefully we get to be that person that we need to be for each other. If that makes sense. But right now my relationship is kind of like walking on eggshells. And on one episode I did tell everybody that I did get proposed to and that I am getting married in May. But as far as right now, I don't really think that's going to happen. No. So I do apologize to everybody out there.
That was a big question for me to ask.
It's okay. It's fine because everybody needs to know that. Because I did say I was going to get married, but I don't think it's looking like that. But maybe it changes. I don't know. But I want to make sure. Yeah, it's fine. But it's cool. But I'm making sure that I'm working on being a better mom. And maybe a potential better wife, as I should say, because I do want to be a wife. I don't want to be a girlfriend no more, at all. So if you're not trying to, make me your wife, or you're not trying to make the relationship, like to where it's gonna be just me and you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? But right now, my relationship is like we working on it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna put it on hold.
Okay. Something wrong with that.
Yeah.
Something wrong with that.
And it's fine.
And it will be. Yeah, it is, for sure. Absolutely.
Yes. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Don't be scared.
Let's see.
Do you guys have any questions for me? Go ahead and put them in the comments. I will be answering them.
Look, I'm nosy.
These like phones, they don't like go into. You gotta wait till you like
done with it.
Yes. Okay. Mama Kenya. Okay, Mama. Yep. So, there anything else?
So, what is the next step for you? What are some things that you are manifesting in your life at the moment?
So the next step I want for my future is for me to help women be confident. I've built a lot of confidence over the years, so I want to make sure I want to be able to help other women be confident in themselves also, and be able to. I want to be able to be that. It's not that. I want to be able to tell my story. I'm always having that my guests come on, want to tell their story, but I have a story also. But I am not as confident as far as when I tell my story, just like you guys are. So, one day maybe, hopefully, that I'm able to tell my story just like you guys come on and tell y'all. You know what I'm saying? And one day we will get there.
Yeah.
But it won't be today. It won't be tomorrow. But yeah,
it is coming. So stay tuned whenever.
It's coming, and when it comes, okay, it's gonna be. It's not gonna be good. Okay, it's not gonna be good. But I'm okay with that. Whatever God has in store for me, I'm okay with that, and it is what it is. I've taken peace with it, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I can't
like
wait.
That.
You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be able to share everything with my audience and be able to have you guys, see me for who I really am and what I bring to you guys. So I can't wait to share everything with you guys.
That's awesome. That's gonna be good. Trust me.
It is. It's gonna be good. Okay. And it's gonna take some time. Okay, and that's what this show is about. Just being able to be authentic and be yourself. Yes. And that's what I want. So that's it.
All right.
But thank you, for asking me those questions. I appreciate
no
it.
problem. I was kind of going to fun like,
But we are almost, at the end. But our topic for today is basically how to keep the relationship still going. How do you keep everything in your relationship interesting? So we need four reasons why you think 4 things that we should do to keep a relationship interesting.
Interesting. It depends on what you're considering interesting. No, but
four things that you would do to keep advice for maybe some advice for people to keep their relationship interesting.
To keep it interesting, I would say, I'm just gonna be flat out and straight. Sex, okay? Let's just get there. Only because I say that because I feel like a lot of people don't really know how to please their partner on a sexual level. Because when you say sexual, people automatically think it's just straight, boom, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, get to the point. But when it comes to, I feel like intimacy, there are so many levels, you know, even before you actually get to the sex. So I feel like, for one, learning your partner's love language, that's for one, and learning how to have that intimacy, and not only that, to actually know what that person intimacy, how they receive intimacy and what type of intimacy they want to receive, and then taking it from there and really actually learning, again, your partner's body. You don't know, not to get too, but you don't just know how many women have said they haven't probably experienced a certain type of thing, and y'all know what that thing is.
I'm gonna go ahead and say 4, okay? Orgasm, okay, guys? That's what it's called, okay?
And whether they're too shy to tell their partner, like, do it like this, or I want it like that. So I feel like just having that open and transparency, like, in a relationship where you can actually, like, let your partner know, I don't like it like this, I like it like that, I do like it like this, do this more. Because you'd be surprised how many people, especially women, because it's more difficult for us to orgasm, but how many women just are unsatisfied sexually by their partner because they're either too afraid to open their mouth or they don't even know their own bodies. So I feel like explore with your body, honey, and let that man explore with your body and find out what works. So I feel like as much as people, it's not always about sex for sure, that's for one, but to keep it interesting and to keep it spicy and to keep it going, I feel like you have to have a lit sex life, period.
It opens up a door for more communication.
Yes, that's for sure. And then, who can be sad if y'all both always please? Who can be mad? Why are we mad at each other? I forgot. Okay. Just that quick. So that's for sure. That intimacy is one, for sure. And love language and great sex.
Great. And that's where Miss Kenya, I know y'all always see me talking about basically entrepreneurship and business and stuff like that, but today I did get off topic because it's stuff like this that we do, it's women out there that want to hear stuff like this and that want to know, how can they keep their relationship interesting. And this is where Miss Kenya comes into place, because I know, I don't have it all good, a good as far as wise ways to keep my relationship interesting. So I want to know too, myself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad to have her on her. Okay?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
That's pretty much it.
And I did post Miss Kenya website on the page, on my Facebook page, so if you guys can go back and look.
Oh,
yes.
Go look at that.
I posted her website. She does have goodies as far as wise adult novelties that she does have. So go ahead, check it out and see what you can do to keep your relationship interesting. I could be a commercial with that.
Okay, and here we have this here.
Man, we should have brought some products, you know what I'm saying? It's fine. We're going to have some products next time. Next time we're going to have, a product party, adult novelties, okay?
Right, okay. No, seriously. Oh, my gosh. That's going to be fun.
It is. It's going to be fun. It's going to be lit. We're going to get it together. We're going to do that. I would love to be at that party.
Oh my God, it's gonna be amazing.
If y'all want to see that party happen, go ahead. Put it in the comments.
Yes.
If you guys want Miss Kenya to host a party for adult novelties and be able to go into more conversation about how to please your partner in the bedroom, put it in the comments and we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna get y'all, some tickets and stuff.
We're gonna get y'all right.
We're gonna get you together. We're gonna get you together, okay? So, what's the second one?
Okay, So another thing I would say is to never stop dating your partner. That's for sure. And what I mean by that is, you know how when you guys first get into that little relationship thing, that situationship, you don't even know if it's gonna be something.
Yeah.
You know, but you liking him, he liking you, and you okay, it's a little vibe. You know,
what's the other thing Will Smith and Jada Pinkett had going on?
Right. Entanglement.
The entanglement.
Right.
That's what you should say.
Right. Okay. And but you know how, you know, it was with the whole, you know, y'all had the little good morning text flowing. Y'all had that energy, you know, it was like fireworks when y'all saw each other.
When he first
that
met me,
phone
y'all
ding.
already know that said, "Good morning, beautiful."
Okay.
Beautiful.
Right.
No.
Or like, you hear your phone ding and you automatically know who it is. You, it's my phone.
Yeah.
You already know who it is. But never stop like having that type of feeling. And of course, feelings. One thing about feelings is they fade, and that's with everything. So I think just constantly reminding yourself that you are still dating this person. Don't get too set in your ways and just like, oh, okay, well, we're here. He know I love him. Well, she know I love her. You know, and get comfortable. I feel like always keep that dating energy going on. You know what I'm saying? Like when you come in the house, smack on the butt. You know, like just stuff like that. I think that it keeps it fun for one. You know, and I don't know. That's just what I like. Put myself
You're not the
on
only
y'all.
one that like it, okay?
But you know, just keep it fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, just keep the energy. You know, as if like you guys are still just dating. You know, because a lot of times, one thing my guy did tell me when we first started talking is he was like, I don't like relationships. He said because it seems like as soon as you tell a woman that, you know, y'all go together, y'all in a relationship, like her whole energy changes, like, and the fun gets sucked out of it because she instantly up with her. You know what I'm saying? It got to be like this and that, ooh. And I felt that. Like he is absolutely right. So don't take the fun out of it. Keep the excitement going. Keep the day going.
Mine now. So
Right, exactly. You know, that was great. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that no more now. That used to work everything. You can't go out with John no more. I was just out with John a week ago. That was before we started dating. We're dating now, so no, you can't go out.
I'm telling you.
Like, you know, no.
You just look at her like that.
Right.
I know you did.
Seriously, I just think just have fun with it for sure. Of course, keeping it interesting always includes, I feel like, communication and honesty. I don't know if you want to put those as 2 or 1, but for sure,
honesty.
Being honest with yourself for one on how you feel about that person, and being honest with them as well. I feel like a lot of times in relationships, I feel like people aren't honest with themselves, let alone their partner. And I feel like sometimes it comes to a point where I feel like they feel like the ship has left, like the feelings aren't there anymore. And instead of actually just being honest with that person and saying that, they'll rather hold on to something knowing that they don't have any good intent with it anymore. And so they become they become almost unstable in the way that they handle you. Because there isn't anything pushing them to make sure that they do right by you, because it's kind of like they don't feel like that about you anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like just making sure that you're honest with yourself and honest with that person. Because I feel like wherever honesty lies, nothing but goodness can come from it. And that's the truth. I feel like yeah, it's not, you just gotta be honest. Just be honest.
Yeah.
And whether you feel like you're gonna hurt them or not, like again, you just being honest is, and that it always wins. So even if you feel like you're gonna hurt them by being honest, at the end of the day, you are helping them because you are releasing them, because you know that you are not in a mind space or even a heart space to be what they need, and you're allowing them to go find that somewhere else. So, you know, it's just being unselfish as well, you know. So, yeah, being honest and communication, of course, you have to communicate. So, I'm big on communication. I probably don't follow all the rules of communication, but for sure, I'm big on it. I feel like that is very important. You have to say what the problem is. However, you also have to be, understanding to what they tell you their problem is. A lot of times we feel entitled to, and what I mean by that, we feel entitled to feelings. I'm giving an example as in like you have a man and a woman, and a woman feels like this, and the man hears her, but because he doesn't agree with how she is feeling, he feels like it is not important. So I feel like that regardless of what skill it is on the totem pole as far as importance to you, what may be important to her may not be important to me. What may be important to me may not be important to her. But just because she feels some type of way, this is with any, you can practice actually with any relationship, friendships, family ships, whatever. But we have to stop being selfish with I think I just lost the train of thought that quick.
I mean, I get what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? We gotta start being selfish
with our emotions,
you
right?
know, like for instance, you know, as far as money, you know, couples always have issues with basically money. You know, your job make more, my job make, you know, your job less. So,
right.
You know, I should be able to, you know, come home and not, you know, care. You know, I make more money, so my job is more important. Stuff like that. So I get what you're saying.
Everything has to be explained and not only that understood. And I feel like that the more that you do that, then the better off you will be.
Yeah.
Like in a relationship for sure.
And I agree with you 100%.
Keeping it open and yes, for sure. Understanding and listening and paying attention.
So we're gonna go ahead to the fourth reason why. Well, the fourth reason you should keep your relationship interesting. Like you said, you already talked about communication, and you know it could have been a third one. But communication is really, really important.
It is very important. Let's see. Interesting. I don't know. What y'all think?
Yeah. If you guys, what reason do you? What is something that you would do to keep your relationship interesting? So what do you guys do out there to keep your relationship interesting? So for me, I would say something. I would say, like, we already got on date night.
Right.
Yes. I would say, it's hard. I know it's hard. Being vulnerable, if that makes sense. Being able to, as I would say, be like I said, submissive earlier. Being able to be okay with your partner letting you know, hey, I don't think it's right for you to do that. You know, maybe we should try it this way. You know, being okay to talk to your partner about being able to let them make decisions versus that one person always making the decisions. So everybody just on the same page, and instead of I know everybody always say 50-50, but I think relationships should be
whoever can give at the moment, and
yes.
whoever needs to be the one to be, you know, to receive. I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but that's big on that. Seriously, like I hate the whole 50-50 debate. Like, oh my gosh, it really grinds my gears. Only just because I feel like that. Doing that, you just never know who at the moment is more capable of carrying a weight versus the other person. And I feel like teamwork definitely makes the dream work. So you mean to tell me that if my partner is not able to do certain things, that because I'm a woman, I should feel mad or angry at him because I have to. I don't. Like, I feel like that's what partnership is. I feel like it's kind of like when you can't, I can, and when I can't, you can. And when we both can, that's great. And eventually we'll get to that point. But until then, it's okay to, you know, give more than the other. Who keeps track? I feel like you have to keep track of that. That's a problem for me. Like, it's not genuine. Like, I don't want to know, well, I did this and you did, like, no. Like, I feel like that it should just become so natural that it doesn't even cross your mind that you did have to carry the stack for a little bit. Like, it's just a thing because you're helping your partner, you're helping your teammates. So you know that if you're doing it out of love and you're doing it from a good space, you know, then who cares? You know, like, a lot of people kill me with that. Like, well, the man got to do this and hold down financially. Well, if just say, for instance, if he can't at that moment, like, it's okay. Like, I feel like, again, but that's, you have to know your person and know that you have them and they have you. You know what I'm saying? And as long as you're secure, well, that's security. That's another form of security. As long as you're secure with your relationship and how it's going, it's okay, I feel like, to give more at times. And sometimes there's going to be times when you have to give less because they're going to give more. but you have to know your partner and know that that's kind of how you guys work.
Yeah. And
versus somebody taking advantage of you, because there's women out here to take advantage of men and men that take advantage of women, and they just want to take. So not in those situations, but a genuine partnership where you're comfortable to say, if I gotta do this for him for a while, I don't mind, or if I gotta do this for her for a while, I don't mind.
Yeah. I love that. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody not gonna be 100% all the time, and if you really love a person, you're gonna make sure no matter what. Especially if you know that person is good for you, like, you know, have your interests at heart, your best interests at heart, and making sure that you're always good. You know, if there's times when that person is slacking or even feeling some type of way, can't make it happen for you, be that, you know, support for them also. And that's, I like that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yes. Nothing wrong with that at all.
So we have Trina Love. She says pray together. So the fourth one is going to be pray together.
Yes, I'm surprised I ain't thinking that. That was a good one. Trina said that.
Yes.
Trina, girl.
I agree with her.
That's a good one.
I agree with her.
That is a great one. That's the first one, actually.
Because a lot of couples, I don't feel like they do pray together. And I think I've seen you recently meditating, you know, on a video, and I thought about that. Like, that's really good, you know, to meditate, and it's really good to get your spouse in a habit of being able to do that with you, because then that way you guys can, that's a bonding, you know, that's bonding time for you guys.
We can definitely get better at that.
Yes.
He does pray though. That's one thing I can't say. He doesn't mind praying, and I love that. But we don't really pray as much together as we should. Mm-hmm. But I know I try to get my worship on.
And it's fine, because sometimes we don't, you know, at the moment think about, you know, like, it's always something going on.
It is.
We gotta get the kids ready for bed. We gotta make sure dinner going on. You know, you be at work all day, so it's hard. You know what I'm saying? But as long as you at the end of the night, y'all praying for each other, and you go back, you know, have a good night. You know, you in your mind, you like, you know, thank you God for everything, and you know, you that's it. That's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? Being able to pray for each other.
That's true.
You know, no matter what.
That's a good one. That was a real good
Thank you, Trina, for that.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
That was
Yes.
awesome.
It was. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I do appreciate everybody for tuning in. And thank you, Kenya, for coming on and being our awesome guest for today. I appreciate it. So if you guys have any questions for Miss Kenya here, go ahead and post them in the comments below, and I will tag her, and we'll go ahead and answer you guys' questions later on down the line. Somebody post them. I can't use it. She said you're welcome. Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and post comment question, not comments. We're gonna go ahead and respond to you guys' comments and questions later on, and I will tag her. And if you guys want to DM her, please get with me, and I'll send you her contact information, and we can go from there. Yes.
Y'all have a good night. Yes.
All right. Have a good night, guys. Thank you all for tuning in.